Hi guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be covering some macro reasons why ICP and the altcoin market is going to pump soon. So all that and more in this video. Before we get in, if you haven't already, please do hit that subscribe button and click that notification bell. I've been trading full-time, guys, for 5 years, and I'm literally giving you trading ideas for free on YouTube. So click that subscribe button now so you never miss another video. So let's dive in. So in this video, we're going to be covering a couple of macro reasons that you might not have seen or have awareness of, going beyond the actual chart of ICP. So to start with, right, we're going to talk about Bitcoin here briefly, because I know I've been covering Bitcoin a lot recently. But basically, right, we're at a time of the year where Bitcoin typically does get a 30% correction, a 20 to 30% correction around about the 10th of January, right? So we've already pulled back 13%. There is the possibility, right, of pulling back to 84 to 74K, right? If that were to happen, I would be absolutely buying that up because of the confidence we have here with this previous market structure, this key level here, and also our weekly EMA band, which is falling. I'm waiting for it to load yet, which is falling right in the middle there, okay? So typically what you see here is a pullback in January, a recovery in February, with potentially another pullback in February. But March is generally a fantastic month for crypto, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if we do see further downside here in January. But the truth is, seasonally, February, March is normally quite good for crypto. And we are in a bull market, guys. But yeah, a pullback in January would be possible. But ultimately, I am expecting more upside. And if we're looking at the Bitcoin dominance chart, right, look how high this is. We are pretty much at, we're at 58% dominance, okay? Now, this has been brutal for altcoins. They've really suffered in this bull market because it has really been Bitcoin only, except for a handful of altcoins. But this cannot go up forever, guys. It's a market, right? Because everyone's probably a Bitcoin maxi right now. Everyone's thinking altcoins are dead. But that is exactly whenever everyone has jumped ship and went to Bitcoin and forgot all their altcoins and capitulated their altcoins. That is normally the moment when this turns around and that money transfers, that wealth transfers into the altcoin market. So really, for these altcoins, honestly, the best time to buy is when dominance is high. And dominance is as high as it has been in years, since 2020. And this has been a key level throughout the history of the Bitcoin dominance chart. You see all of these reactions and pivots that it's had around this level. It's always been that sort of key level, whereas once you break it, you go up. Once you lose it, you go down. It always has acted like this. And we're there right now. Dominance is high, meaning that altcoins are undervalued in the Bitcoin pairs, and this can't go up forever. There must always be a transfer. It's a market. There has to be losers. People have to lose some of their Bitcoin. It's just the way it works. So eventually, possibly now, possibly later, we don't know, this will have to come down at some point. And when it does, altcoins will rally. So if we just pop ICP on the chart here, anytime you see dominant breaking down here, normally ICP, the red line here, will be rallying. See the way we had a breakdown here, ICP rallies. Can you imagine if we see a breakdown like this, like we had in 2021, all your altcoins will be flying to the moon. And this hasn't even happened yet in this cycle. Everyone's getting pessimistic, everyone's getting bearish on altcoins, but the reality is this is still waiting for us at some point, and it will drop down eventually. Like, how low does it go? We don't know, but this will eventually drop and our altcoins will rally. So another reason why I think the ICP and the altcoin market are going to be gaining to the upside is, I've got here on the chart here, the US government bonds, the 10-year yield, right? And what we're seeing here, if we go down to the 3-day time frame, I think the US 10-year yield is almost finished its rally. And because typically what you see here, when you see the US 10-year rallying, going up, normally that means it's bad for cryptos and sort of the stock market. So see, anytime, if we're looking here in 2022, you had this big rally up, ICP was absolutely bleeding. Later in 2023, we had this big rally up, ICP was just bleeding. And not always, it doesn't always work like this, but generally when it's going up, the altcoins suffer, right? And I think this is going to turn around soon, guys, right? For two reasons. We have got this resistance here, pretty much from from where we are right now up until this local high that it made here in 2023, October 2023. I think this is going to be the top for the US 10-year yield. And also, because if we're looking down at our RSI here, right, you see when the RSI has been overbought, at the top, and then it crosses back down. Generally, what you see across the markets, whether that's US stocks or crypto altcoins, whenever you see, if we look back in history, when you see the RSI on the 3-day time frame drop back below the overbought level, generally you see prices of your altcoins rise. They're like the opposite, right? So if we take, there's one example here in June 2022, crossed back below and ICP rallied. Again, in 2022, it crossed back below. ICP had a small rally, wasn't fantastic, but again, less than 2 months later, it had the big rally, right? If we look here again, October 2023, the RSI on the 3-day time frame crossed back below, started a crazy rally for ICP. And look where we are right now, guys. We're on the RSI. We have not quite got there, but we're almost there, right? So maybe the bottom isn't in yet, right? But with these factors in play, I think the bottom is going to be very soon, meaning that a rally will come at some point. So it means it's a good time to be getting positioned. So what we're waiting for here is this RSI to come up into the white zone here, into the overbought, and cross back below. And if we get anything like October 2023, that would be fantastic for us. See the way the RSI broke below here again, and it started a huge rally in ICP, which is the red line. Additionally, what we've got here, if we go on to the US 500, the S&P 500, and we're looking here, right? The S&P 500, which Bitcoin and crypto is closely correlated to, has had a pullback recently. It's pulled back significantly. It's pulled back, I believe, about 5%. Yeah, almost 5%. And for crypto guys, and for crypto bros, that seems like nothing. But in the S&P 500, in a bull market, 5% pullbacks are usually the norm. Like generally, that's what you see. Like there was a 5.5%. There was an 8%. So around about between 5 and 10% is sort of the norm, what you see in these bullish trends. And we've already done that, right? And more than that, we have already, if I just zoom in here, we've come back to our EMA band, which you can see throughout this bull market has acted as support. And we've double tested it. We've made a double bottom here with 2 long wicks to the downside. If you see these 2 wicks here, signifying both a double bottom and these long wicks, signifies buying pressure and signifies that a reversal may be imminent. And if we just let's overlay Bitcoin, which is the purple line here. Look what happens when we've had these pullbacks to the EMA band, right? The purple line is Bitcoin. So when we see the S&P 500 pull back to this bull market, this EMA band here, Bitcoin and the crypto market rallies alongside it. Again, we had a pullback here and a bounce. Bitcoin rallied with it. We pulled back again and had a bounce. Bitcoin soon rallied with it. So you see, these are correlated, right? And right now we're there. We're at the EMA band. Maybe we can go a little bit lower, but honestly, I think the bottom is coming soon. Your absolute low for me will be 84 to 74k. If we do come down there, it's not the end of the world. We're still above our EMA band. But ultimately, guys, those are my thoughts. I think it's possible for more downside, but ultimately, things look like they're going to pump soon. Everyone's getting fearful. Everyone's feeling pessimistic. And ultimately, once the yields come back out of their overbought situation on the 3-day time frame, once the S&P 500 starts to bounce, and once Bitcoin dominance starts to drop, all of these things are ticking time bombs. They're literally happening right now, and we're just waiting for the catalyst. Once that catalyst does come, I honestly do believe that we're going to see a big bounce, because all of these altcoins, if you're looking at anything, especially on the Bitcoin pairs like Ethereum, ICP, they're all significantly undervalued against Bitcoin, and especially ICP. I mean, look how low we're on the floor. We're on the floor here on the Bitcoin pair. And most altcoins do look like this, with a few outliers. But there's my thoughts. I think a bounce is coming. I've given you a reason why. So I think now and the coming weeks is a good time to start positioning yourself. There is potentially more downside. It's not out of the question. But again, you've got your target of Bitcoin, 84 to 74k, and you can just extrapolate. If you see Bitcoin around this level, you don't need to be an expert at technical analysis. If Bitcoin is at this level, whatever price ICP is at that moment would be a good buy, because they would probably go up together. So I'm going to leave this video here. If you enjoyed it, please do consider hitting that subscribe button, clicking that notification bell. It really helps me out, guys. Doing my best here to try and save you some money and learn from my mistakes with these videos. So yeah, I'll speak to you in the next one. Bye bye.